Oh, yeah. Girl, you know it's time for that third annual Valentine's Day edition of the It's Real Wrestling Podcast. So turn the volume down and your hearts up. Let the sultry sound of our voices caress you like a soft whisper in your ear. I'd like to introduce you to our host this evening, the sensual, seductive, 6'5", and ladies, that inches is an understatement, and Sage the Mac, and his black Indian counterpart, the spice in your curry, the secret in your Victoria's Secret, been between the sheets goosing. And this is the Valentine's Day edition of the It's Real Wrestling Podcast. What up, Sage the Mark?
We stay pimping, even on Valentine's. What up?
That's how it goes down. This episode is for the ladies. And because it's for the ladies, I don't know if you thought about this. There's a lot to talk about with the ladies this week. That's the focus, actually, of this week.
And we ain't talking about Come to the Hotel because, you know, that song is banned now.
Oh, yeah, it is. Well, let's get into this week. Let's get into it. Let's start it off with the ladies. Let's start it off with the ladies. But not with Becky Lynch, because that was the big storyline of the week. Let's go into how you think the setup has been before we get into our predictions of the Elimination Chamber. How do you think the setup to the women's tag division has been? Because it really is just a bunch of people together, right?
I mean, they got a couple of Frankensteiner teams, but I mean, if you think about it, like this has been building up for like the past year now. We've got established tag teams, Iconics, right? We got Becky and not Becky, the Hug and Tug connection, Boston Hug connection. There we go. Fire and Desire and Fire. I mean, those are legit, and then the Riot Squad. So like 4 of those teams are kind of legit. And then you can kind of see, like, I don't really consider Nia and Tamina Frankenstein team. They kind of just go together as well.
Right.
So yeah, I think the build's been pretty well, man.
Yeah, the build's been long. So the build's been, now that we think about it, we go back well over 6 months to a year, in my opinion, with just introducing various folks. But it's been good. I'm pumped, like we've said on the show before, as long as it's defended, hopefully, between both shows.
Yep.
Then I think that we've got a plus with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think, it's something that could take off, especially because the tag division in general is just, it's hot on SmackDown. Now it seems to be hot on Raw, especially, man, much respect this week to the tag division on Raw. So yeah, it's just nice to see the ladies doing their thing, giving a chance, and I think that they'll shine.
Yeah, for sure. This is their pay-per-view, to be honest with you. I mean, we said it last week. This is their pay-per-view. So
yeah, absolutely. Now, I do got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Before we continue on our wrestling talk, you had a chance last Friday, I believe. Was that your first time playing Apex?
Oh, we're getting into this already.
Yeah, because we talked about it on last week's show briefly, right? Did we talk about Apex last week?
We only talked about. I told you, I told you on Thursday that they had just dropped it, and that I had played it. I think they dropped it on Wednesday, and then I told you, hey, you should go and download the game.
Okay. But it was pretty surface level. We didn't really get into anything, right?
No, because I don't want to spoil anything for you. And it's kind of hard to compare the game because it's unique and different than your typical battle royale games that are out there right now.
Okay, so we're gonna get candid, and we're gonna get explicit here. So Sage, you and I had the chance to join up and play Apex last Friday night, and listeners out there, join any party I got. It's Ben Space Goose on Xbox, and friend request me anything like that. Love to just have some listeners come and chat it up.
Or just look for the group on Xbox. It's Real Wrestling.
It's Real Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah, that's right. We don't even tout that as much, and it's there, man.
So I'm a blackout guy. I'm not very good at it, but I probably put at least 10, 20 hours into blackout a week. But again, I'm not good at it at all. So I play Apex. Now, Sage, let's be candid. Give me an impersonation of Ben Goosen last Friday night.
Hey, bro, if I do this, you got to promise, man. You got to promise that you ain't going to just get up and leave and say, hey, we ain't doing this podcast no more.
I give you my word. Give me from the beginning of the night when I said, yeah, I'll give it a try. I'm virtually hanging out with Mr. Hollywood and Sage Mark. I'm going to give it a try. I'm hanging out with my boys, which is 90 to me. Hanging out with your friends. Yes, getting the dubs is great, but hanging out with your friends is 90% of the fun, right?
Oh man, yeah, it's 90% of the fun of playing online is playing with your boys or girls.
Right. So walk me through that night, and
man, okay. So I'm here explaining the game to him and how like his expectations should be a little bit different because it's not your normal battle royale game. You don't build bridges, right? You don't get like a pre loadout in some barracks and then go in and do your jump. Like this is completely a survival game. This is like the Hunger Games. Like that's the best way that I can describe this game. And I told him before you get into anything, bruh, run through the tutorial. The tutorial will be like 2 minutes. Run through the tutorial and you'll be set to go. No. I'll just get it when I'll get it on the fly. I got this. Not even 30 seconds into the game after we drop in. This game sucks, man. This game sucks. I can't. Where's the ARs? Where are the ARs at? There's no fucking ARs. It's the fucking guns, the loot. This game sucks. We played probably like a good 40 minutes, and 39 of those minutes included the word suck.
Dude, it was bad. And the map doesn't like
no, bro. It wasn't bad. You was bad. That's what it is, bro.
Do you remember at one point y'all explained what the ping system is?
Yeah.
But I thought you had to spam the button, and I kept hitting R1, RB, whatever system you playing on, and I was just pinging the whole time. Constantly ping, 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 ping. Just pinging the whole time. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, man. Had us going in circles, thinking enemies were to the left and to the right. Nah, man, you just wasn't paying attention, bro. You need to run through that 2-minute tutorial, bro.
That game, and I tried it again Saturday for a little bit. I just can't. I actually got some kills in the game. So I don't like somebody threw like a portal thing or something like that at me.
Yeah, they were Wraith.
Yeah, and somebody went through the portal, and I will say this: it was funny as hell. One of my teammates put up the portal, and he started it, and then he put the endpoint behind the enemies. He kills my teammate. I run up to the portal like, what the hell is this thing? I've never seen this. I don't know anything about this game. The enemy runs out the portal, looks at me, and he's like, oh, shit. Oops. And he runs right back into the portal. And I'm like, what is this? So I chase him. I go through the portal and somehow get behind him, and he's just sitting. I don't know how I got behind him, but he's just sitting looking at the portal ready for like, man, I'm going to shoot somebody who comes out of this thing. And nope. Nope, not at all. Not at all.
Nah, man. Look, man. This is a true squad-based game, man. It's not just about camping and taking people out. Like, it's truly a squad-based game. If you're going to be successful in this game, you've got to work with your team. And I will say this, one of the most frustrating aspects of this game is people who don't have fucking mics, bro. Like, I cannot stand it. And on Xbox, it's worse, which I don't understand, because like out of the box, it usually comes with a microphone. And like 90% of the people who I ever interacted with any game on Xbox, they don't have mics. And it wouldn't be so bad if they didn't learn how to use the ping system, but like they don't even, it's just, it's terrible, man. Like, that's terrible. I ended up downloading on on PlayStation, and like they ping like crazy, and there's people on the mics. Like every other match that I have, at least one person has a mic, man. And it just, I don't know. But I love the game, man. I absolutely love the game. It's a lot of fun. I would have paid for the game. I still don't like the whole free to play and purchasing skins and guns and stuff like that. Like, I don't like that. I don't think I'll ever come around that in my lifetime. But I like it, man. They just dropped a Valentine's patch and stuff, and you get some skins from Valentine's Day, which I thought was pretty awesome. You get some badges if you revive people as well, which I think was pretty cool too. But yeah, man, overall, I'm satisfied with the game. And I honestly, Goose, I hope you don't really give up on this game, man. It's a lot of fun.
Too many bullets, man. Reminds me of Halo.
Well, so that's the thing. So this is one thing that I learned after playing with you and going through that experience. So your AR guns are going to be in your high tier zones, and your high tier zones are going to be close to like right when the game starts,
like the hotspots.
Yeah, where everyone goes. But right when you jump off, like right when the game starts and you're able to jump off or launch, if you launch right there, like literally take a nosedive in that area, those are going to be your high tier areas. The problem is everybody's saturated in those areas, so it makes the game kind of fast paced from that perspective.
But how is that a good game? That means all the best gamers are going to go get the best guns. And then if I go and like say, oh, not many people go here, and I want to be strategic and work my way in for the circle, that means if I don't go to where all the best gamers go, then I'm going to get a crappy gun.
Not necessarily, man. So I typically, like, I've come in the top 3 probably 15 times, and out of those 15, I've won 8 of those games. And I've played at the long game. Like, I'll either drop on the ships, like the ship that comes through, or I'll drop on the other side of the map where nobody is. But the thing is, like, if you kill somebody, you can actually go through their weaponry, like what they have, their armor, their guns, and everything like that. And those people are typically the ones who have kind of started the game at the very beginning. So like, if you go through, yeah, exactly. Like, looting their stash is also key to success as well. So like, if you do that, man, you do a combination of both. If that's like your play style, you do a combination of both, you can just be just as successful as someone who drops at the very beginning of the game.
Yep, not a fan. That game sucks. I'm going to stick with Blackout. I mean, it's a free game, so I can't help but pick it up, but just... And what killed me the most is the map. It doesn't rotate with whatever direction you're going in.
What do you mean it doesn't rotate?
It's a square map on the top left. So I get...
Oh, okay. I see. You're...
then I turn left.
No, because you're not paying attention, bro. You have your indicator, and it has the spotlight on it to show you what direction that you're going, and then you can blow it up using the little Windows button as well. You just, like I said, man, you don't...
Too many buttons, man.
You didn't go through it's got the same exact buttons as Call of Duty, bro. Come on now.
So how do you throw a grenade? Can you push one button?
Yeah.
You got to press 2. You got to press right on the D-pad, and then you got to pick which grenade, and then you have to throw it.
Not if you pick up the grenade first. And it's the same thing as Call of Duty. In order to shoot in order to cycle through, if you have flashbangs and you have grenade launchers, you got to switch between the two before you throw the bomb.
But I could just press RB or R1 to throw a grenade.
You're just like simple. I think that's what it is for you, man. It's too many.
Yeah, I can't mess with
too much strategy, man.
I don't like.
It's got to be like A and B, and that's it. Directional pad, and that's it for you.
That makes sense because Black Ops pretty cut and dry, and that's why I was playing Dead by Daylight forever. Dead by Daylight has run, jump, and RB. And RB does everything in the game. And RB does multiple things. So I do. Then that's why I didn't get into Fortnite, because I can't be pushing buttons, pressing all this shit to build a building. And then like if the shit goes down, oh, I just got to build a building that can get the high ground. Now Fortnite's a great game. I went to the Marshmallow Show concert and thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, I think I'm just a man of simplicity. You know what I'm going to go buy a modded controller so I could cheat. I bought one a couple weeks ago.
What you need to do is you just need to pick up a Nintendo, bro, because that's your life right there.
But I already beat all that. I'm going to get a modded controller. Modded controllers are okay because I'm evening the playing field. I've got one too. I just might buy another one. I just don't know I haven't used it to its full potential yet.
You just need to get the Nintendo Switch, bro, so that way you only got 3 buttons to worry about.
And I'll beat the hell out of everybody at Mario Kart like I used to.
Play some Mario Party, bro.
And talk. Right? People in the Michael Jackson dance game. Everybody but you.
There we go, man. They need to port that to Xbox already, man. I'm tired of these games.
Raw this week was, I think, highlighted by the Becky Lynch storyline in the tag team match. Basically the tag team main event. Kind of not, I don't know. I felt like the rest felt stagnant. Seth Rollins cut a decent promo on Brock and what was going on this week. And, you know, the lead up into WrestleMania and stuff like that. But what do you think of Raw in general?
So I watched Raw this week on Hulu, and I must say that the pacing of Raw was just completely weird. Didn't make sense. It did not flow at all. It was very confusing. Like it started with the Becky segment, then went to Becky talking to Alexa Bliss backstage.
Ooh. Okay.
Then from there we got the Finn match. Then from the Finn match, it went to the tag team match, and then from the tag team match, it went to the ending of the show. So it didn't make any sense whatsoever for a 3-hour show condensed to 90 minutes. Like it was just completely out of whack. I know that I missed. Apparently, Becky had like 3 backstage segments in terms of, and I only got to see 2 of them. So it was just. I don't know. I mean, I get that the storyline was about Becky, but it just seemed kind of weird. I absolutely loved the ending, which I know we'll get to talk about in a few minutes here, but just very confusing overall.
Well, you didn't miss much out of what was on the Hulu cut. I mean, there was some stuff there with Becky and Bayley were in a tag match. There was a women's tag match and stuff like that. But the Hulu cut did cut out Ronda Rousey from the sounds of it. Ronda Rousey in the backstage segment with Becky Lynch. Ronda confronted Becky Lynch and told her, look, put your pride aside because I know that it'll hurt you in the long run. And you have to understand the bigger picture is me and you, women, main eventing WrestleMania. If you can't understand that and you don't apologize, you're a bitch. And I was like, oh, man. It was nice having Ronda Rousey confront her.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss, as you saw, she was backstage with Finn Balor as well. So the whole show was themed for sure about the Becky Lynch storyline, which went great. But the highlight of the night, I don't know how Hulu would have cut it or adjusted maybe some audience sounds if they do that. The crowd was just not into it at first.
The tag team match?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
The tag team match. The crowd was not into it at first at all.
Yeah.
And by the end of the match, those 4 men won that crowd over, had
Yeah,
"This
they
is
did.
awesome" chants, "Please keep wrestling" chants, all this stuff. And we had an amazing finish. So when these guys have that rematch, hopefully it's on Raw. It's gonna be amazing. And the Revival got to shine, and just a hell of a match, just showcasing everything that those 4 men could do in the ring. Great
Yeah,
match.
sure. Yeah, I did notice that, and I think SmackDown has a similar thing with the crowd like that as well. I can't remember which
I
segment
agree.
it was, but yeah, the crowd was just completely dead, and I thought at some point maybe there was some audio editing, but I think that towards the end it was really it was genuine. But yeah, hell of a match. Like I won't even lie, man. The first part of that match, I was kind of like checked out. I was like. And then I saw the second false finish, and I was like, "Oh my god, like, are they gonna let them win?" But, yeah, I mean, amazing match completely. I'm hoping that by the end of this feud that we finally get Bobby Roode by himself, and hopefully turning heel because I cannot stand him as being the face. It's ruining his whole persona.
Yeah, I agree. A nice, I mean, it's tough to say because he's already been traded from SmackDown to Raw. So
Yeah.
the Becky Lynch ending. So I liked where they went with it. And I like how Triple H and Stephanie apologized first because it still further, it emphasizes, hey, you know what? This isn't the McMahon Helmsley regime. We're not going to come be dictators and have a big WrestleMania match. It was them, and they said, look, I apologize. Bigger heads should prevail. We screwed up. You screwed up. Just apologize. We can move on. And they got some good heat, but I didn't like that Becky Lynch actually said, I'm sorry. Because I was hoping, because she kind of has the Conor McGregor thing going on, but with it, her own personal twist. Do you remember at a UFC, I think it's when he beat Jose Aldo, and Conor McGregor the whole week was bad-mouthing every fighter in the UFC at every press conference.
Yeah. Yeah, the
And
fur coat on.
he had what?
Then he had like the white fur coat on when he was doing that.
Yeah, with the red undershirt. He was
Yeah.
bad-mouthing everybody. He talked shit. And after the match, after his fight, do you remember what he said?
Um, he was just trying to put butts in seats or something like that, or
His famous words is he said, hey, oh, a win is a win. But hey, listen, this week has been so much. To the fans out here, I appreciate it. But to Tyron Woodley, I've said stuff about you. But at the end of the day, hey, everybody, I appreciate it. But I've got to apologize to absolutely fucking no one.
that's right.
And that's
Yeah.
where C-Mac was, Mystic Mac was
Yeah,
one
Mr.
of
Mac.
the defining moments in his career. And it was amazing because I was
Talking
hoping
that
Becky
cheese, bro.
Lynch, I truly was hoping she'd say, I apologize to absolutely, I don't know if you could say Fook, maybe, but to say that, even though it's a PG show, I get it. Maybe if McGregor didn't say that, because it kind of would have been a ripoff, but if she said to absolutely fucking no one, I would have, her fandom would have been, it would have been through the roof. But they're doing well with that storyline, man. I didn't like that she said sorry. What did you think? That she said those two
I
words.
was in the same camp as you. In the same camp as you. I didn't necessarily like the fact that she apologized at first. So I thought it was kind of weird, man. But at the end, sell how the next part started.
Yeah, I agree. With Vince coming out and doing his thing, it helped put Charlotte over as a super heel, which is crazy because I feel like she goes heel face, heel face, heel face, heel face, whatever the occasion needs. Well, but that being said, she does very well at both. And it really solidified like, oh, man, this system is against Becky now. And I'll use the term, I'll use a quote from John Shaft, Samuel Jackson in the most recent, not the 1970s movies. You think that makes me more dangerous or less dangerous? Because he gets fired in the movie as a cop, and he says, you think that makes me more dangerous or less dangerous? Now Becky Lynch is suspended.
Yeah.
If she could have used that line, oh, I'm suspended, you think that makes me more or less dangerous? Or just saying, you think that makes me less dangerous? Now there's nothing you could do to stop me. Suspend me again, I dare you. I'll show up. All I got to do is buy a ticket. But yeah, I liked where it was going. I loved where it was going. And she's suspended. She wasn't on SmackDown. So hopefully she gets a couple weeks off TV. It'll bring that big pop coming back. Loved it, though.
Yeah. And shout outs to Stephen Thatch, Mr. Hollywood, and Brandon Ace in the chat. We see y'all. I like I said, I didn't like the whole apology thing, but I think that it set up very well for her reaction when Charlotte came out. I popped for Charlotte. Like her promo both when she came and then her promo on SmackDown, completely amazing. Never hear me say that again, but completely amazing. I don't like the sold on the idea of this storyline.
Yeah. Do you think that? Let me just ask then. Do you think the Charlotte Becky Ronda thing's going to end up in a triple threat at WrestleMania?
I think so, man. I don't know why, but I think this is going to end up being a triple threat match. I said last week, I wouldn't be opposed to Becky sitting this one out and fighting like Triple H for a spot, but now it seems like it's a moot point since Becky, since he was on her side, and now it's Becky versus Vince McMahon. So that kind of screws up that storyline. And the only thing that I can see them in this immediate future is this being a triple threat match, or somehow Becky costs Charlotte and not the match at WrestleMania, maybe buying a ticket or something.
Yeah, I think Becky Lynch is definitely going to be fighting at WrestleMania. I hope it's not a triple threat, because you have a huge match in Becky versus Ronda already that built itself. So I don't get why you would that can main event WrestleMania. I don't know why you'd get rid of that.
Or unless, and this is a big unless, they're trying to gear that, and they're going to try to push this up to SummerSlam, so then that way they can get Becky and Charlotte. I mean, it's not Becky and Charlotte. Charlotte and Ronda at Mania, and Becky and Ronda. Like, they'll have two main events basically set up between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. If that's the route, if that's the ultimate end game, then to me, I think that Vince doesn't have enough confidence in Becky to put on the show. And I think, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to monopolize here, but like,
that sounds really bad what you're saying right now, Sage. It sounds like you're giving me the apex. I don't like this apex business.
If this is a one-on-one match between Charlotte and Ronda Rousey, shame on WWE. Charlotte can't have all the accolades, all the firsts. It's just, you got to spread it around. I thought they were going in the great direction when they gave Carmella the Money in the Bank opportunity, but there are other women on the roster that work just as hard that should have an opportunity to be a first at something.
Well, if that's the case, if they go with the triple threat or just straight up Charlotte versus Ronda, at first I was like, man, dude, you're completely screwing over Becky. Sitting on my couch, I was like, you have a main event made. What are you doing? And then it hit me. I was like, oh, no, I'm just buying into this. I'm invested into it, because what that does now is the Becky Lynch, the man thing is huge, but how do we extend it past April? We screw her over. She fights with the Authority or whatever happens. And then she, like you said, if this is what happens, she finally gets her shot at SummerSlam. Because think about it, if me and you were bookers, I said this a couple weeks ago, I think. What if the end result is at next year's WrestleMania, I need Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler at 2020. So how do we get to that point from here? We got to have at some point for sure they've got to do the horsewomen versus the horsewomen. So what if we just maybe do Charlotte, Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte takes the pin or the tap out at Mania? No big deal. And then at SummerSlam, maybe it is the final Becky Lynch versus Ronda. Because if that's going to happen, Becky Lynch's momentum as the man is for sure going to carry on. Because let's be honest, if Becky Lynch loses to Ronda one-on-one fairly and taps out at Mania, momentum's going to take a hit. Not permanently, no permanent damage, especially since she just lost to Asuka at the Royal Rumble. Momentum will take a hit. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Take a hit, not done, not dead, but take a hit.
Yeah, it'll be a setback because, I mean, where do you go from here is the question, right? Like, how do you rebound if there's nobody bigger than Ronda Rousey and you don't want to repeat the whole Charlotte thing?
Right. And I've always felt like I enjoy seeing the chase, not the have. Like the chase for the title or the chase for revenge. Like there doesn't have to be a title even on the line. The chase for revenge. Bret Hart and Stone Cold. Titles weren't always on the line with those guys. It was just pure hatred. It was the chase. You know what I mean?
Right.
That brings me to another point. If Becky Lynch loses, it's a step back. She'll be fine going forward and all that good stuff. Sorry about that. Hit the mic. It'll be a step back, but then you got to go steps forward. But there's wrestlers that they take 10 steps forward, 11 steps back. Samoa Joe this week. Let's talk about Samoa Joe. Let's talk about Samoa Joe over the past 6 months. Maybe gets a SmackDown win, maybe beats a jobber, comes out, chokes people out, Coquina clutch, dangerous move. Dude has some legitimacy. Is Samoa Joe entering that realm of Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, and Bray Wyatt, where you're a solid mid-carder, but you don't win titles in the mid-card, and then you have a good feud with a main eventer, but you are always losing against main eventers? Is Samoa Joe the next... I don't mean this to sound as bad as it is, because these dudes are all super talented. I wish they would get W's. Is Samoa Joe going to be the next gatekeeper?
Yeah, it kind of seems like that. I mean, he doesn't win pay-per-views at all. In fact, I don't think that there's been one pay-per-view that he's actually won since he's debuted.
I wouldn't be surprised. I can't think of any outside of NXT stuff.
Yeah, neither can I. So I do think that he's at least SmackDown's version of the gatekeeper. And it's not necessarily to mean that it's a bad thing. It just you've got a lot of great talent on SmackDown and that you're building around. And he doesn't have like an active storyline that doesn't revolve around the title. It seems like he might be putting into a program with Randy Orton, which I think would be pretty cool. I don't think Joe actually needs a title, although it would be nice to see him don one. But I mean, at this point in time, I think I'm more worried about sanity than I am about Samoa Joe. I think he's okay.
Well, those guys, now that I think about it out loud, those guys end up being in the WWE for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Getting that solid paycheck because they could hold their own. So, well, I guess with the exception of Dean Ambrose, because he's going to leave the company, do his own thing.
Work.
Yeah.
Work.
But yeah, sanity hasn't been seen in forever. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, neither do I, man.
So
Eric probably out there with his fishing business?
Oh yeah, no kidding. What was that show called on that Discovery? It was a good show. What was it?
I forgot what it was, man.
Yeah. Other highlight on SmackDown this week, since we've talked about Becky Lynch. Dude, Kofi showing out.
Kofi Kingston, man, from Jamaica.
So that match, we'll just talk about the gauntlet match. It was for who comes in last in the Elimination Chamber, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We talked about this last week. Man, I want to be Randy Orton. Show up to work for 2 minutes, go home, be at home in 3. How great was that?
Yeah, I'll take that check to go, please.
Yeah. No kidding. Like, it's like showing up to work, in their case, since SmackDown ends at 9 Central, that's like showing up to work at 8:40 and being in the car by 9:05. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, man.
I need that job. Excuse me. I need that job. Thank you. I need that job. But the highlight of the night straight up went to Kofi, right?
God, Kofi was some kind of amazing, man. And yeah, man, he put on a 63, 64-minute match during the gauntlet match. And I don't know which match I like better, man. Him versus AJ Styles or him versus Daniel Bryan, because both of them were just like, yo, Kofi still got it, man.
Yeah, he did amazing.
What'd you think?
No, I thought he did amazing. I thought that's the thing with the New Day guys. They'll pull a match and leave the comedic bit. They'll put on a tag match or a singles match every now and again to let you know, yo, we still got this. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know we still got this. Like, we're good.
That's right. I remember we beat up John Cena we beat up John Cena, Randy Orton, and the Shield in one night.
Yeah, when they were heels, when they first started. So they'll let you know, like, man, we got this. Just so you know, we know what we're doing. And Kofi did well. And the wins he got, I loved. And him tapping to the calf crusher. But with AJ really pulling in that calf crusher, I'm like, man,
yeah,
all due respect. And the New Day running out there to grab him and take him to the back.
Yeah, I'm a little worried, man. I feel like this might be Kofi's last run with the WWE, man. I feel like it's I've kind of noticed a pattern, man. Usually when they give guys like a certain spot like out of the blue, it usually means that it's going to be like their last run. I think between him and R-Truth, we could be probably seeing the last year of both of them actively like involved in the roster and stuff like that, man. I mean, I can't blame him, man. He's been there for like 15 years. But yeah, man, I'm a little worried about that. Hopefully he'll get at least a title run, man. It'd be nice for him to go out with the title around his waist, man.
Yeah, it really would. Hopefully it's not his last run, because yeah, you like seeing the guy around. Part of the New Day, him and R-Truth both, even though we haven't seen R-Truth on TV in a bit, but him and R-Truth both. Let's get into you want to get into some Elimination Chamber, or should we go back outside the ring for a bit before we get into our previews?
Yeah, let me see. I mean, we could do. Yeah, well, let's finish off with the Elimination Chamber, bro.
Okay, so last week, did you happen to see? Well, yes, I know you happened to see it, because you texted me earlier about it. The Anderson Silva fight. We don't have to talk about the rest of the card.
Nah, the rest of the card was all right, but yeah, I did see that match, bruh.
He still got it,
bruh.
Damn,
Anderson Silva still the GOAT, man. Dude,
to be 43 and you not be finished by one of the biggest up and comers in the game.
Yeah, man.
And props to them both, man. You know that they went out there and put it on the line and said, you know what, like, this is about the fans. We got promoted to the main event. Man, Anderson Silva's still so good.
He's so quick. Holy crap, that flying knee. Yo, if he would have connected with that, it would have been lights out. Holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And, bruh, like, so light on his feet, bro. So light on his feet. It's great, man. And I loved how he tried to bring Styles Bender. I liked how he tried to bring him into the cage, bro. Like he had his back towards the cage and was telling him to come in. And Styles was thinking about it. And then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring it back, man. He's just gonna have to come in the center and we're gonna fight this thing out, bro. It was so quick, bro. So quick.
Did you see the kick that Adesanya went for? The high kick, and Silva just bent backwards and gave him the almost like the pinch of salt. He looked at him and said, "So close, pretty close."
Nah, man. Silva was in control the entire time, man. Because he even let him like he made it blatantly obvious that he's not that in terms of quickness, he's not there yet. Like Asanya's not there yet. Like there was just like he did a couple of kicks and then like he tried to do a combination with like he feinted to the left and then came with the right hook, and Anderson Silva just like dodged both of them like really quickly, man. It was just a thing of beauty, man. Thing of beauty. It was an exhibition match and it was amazing.
Oh yeah, it was complete. Both fighters are great, but it was, and Silva lost, but he didn't lose. Like for you to see that and you're like, damn, how does, and I'll be honest, if this was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, if that was Silva in his prime,
yeah,
he would have finished that fight pretty quickly at some point. But Adesanya can go. I heard that I think I read somewhere that Silva told Adesanya after the match, "I passed the baton to you." And what's been great about Stylebender, I don't know if you saw the weigh-ins, but the weigh-ins, they weighed in. Anderson Silva started crying and said, "It's just so amazing to be back here." And Adesanya was like, I'll give you his words. Adesanya looks. They interviewed him and they said, "Yeah, what do you got in store for the fight?" And he goes, "Man, fuck him. I'm about to cry. Hang on."
Yeah, he did.
And he just gave so much respect. He could have talked so much trash to hype up the fight, all that good stuff. But he was just so respectful, and he's somebody who I really hope has a good future in him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
entertaining.
Sure, I know they're
puts on a show, does it for the fans. Everything.
Yeah, I know they're gonna try to somehow finagle him and John Jones together.
Eventually, it's gotta happen.
Yeah,
I think it'll be. He's got to win the championship. The championship fight that got canceled last weekend. If he wins that, keeps onto it for a couple more fights. But Adesanya's small compared to, or he looks small, so much smaller than Jones. But bro, did you see? Somebody showed me.
I don't think so. Maybe in muscle definition, but not by much, man. They're about the. I think he's a couple inches taller than him, but probably doesn't weigh. He's probably 10 pounds under John Jones.
Yeah, maybe. Once they figure it all out. Yeah. But yeah, that man, just shout out to Anderson Silva and Adesanya, man. Especially Silva.
Great match, man.
Thank you. We're giving you a huge thank you. Outside the ring, Kenny Omega signed with AEW, which, by the way, sold out in like 5 minutes. The Double or Nothing pay-per-view.
Yeah, and got a whole bunch of what do they call those, price gougers, scalpers. $67 tickets. They selling them for $300 a pop, and it's like a row of 6 seats, bro. Like at a time.
Yeah,
that's fucking ridiculous, man. Like I don't understand how they get away with that, man.
It's bots, man. You just get those the software bots.
People actually pay $300 a ticket for $67 tickets.
Yeah, all the time. Especially since it's in Vegas.
I'm in the wrong field, bro.
Yeah, if you're a ticket company, you use those bots to scam up all those tickets and flip them. But hey, shout outs to AEW for actually, bot or not. You know what? If I'm running AEW and it sells out in 5 minutes, I wouldn't give a damn if it's a bot. And if there's empty seats, I'd be going out to the streets being like, man, y'all got to come sit in these seats. It's free just so it looks good on TV. But I mean, it's going to be sold out regardless. Like anybody who's going to AEW gets to party for a weekend in Vegas and do all that good stuff. But Kenny Omega signed with him last week.
Yeah, man. Executive Vice President.
So it was pretty obvious he was going to sign with him. But you get that EVP. But what is EVP? What would you think it looks like? No, there's nobody knows. Nobody on the inside knows. But what does EVP mean? Like to me, EVP means, I could be wrong, I don't know. It means, hey, we're going to pay you by contract, but we're also going to give you an executive role in the company. So if things need to be changed, or you want to work some stuff around, we're basically giving you a cut of the business. So as the business grows, if you're an EVP, your salary is going to grow. That's the way I would see it, because there's no stock. It'd be like if I hired, hey, Sage, I'm going to hire you, but I can't pay you that much, but I'm going to give you a ton of stock options. You'd say, oh, all right, cool, I'll take the stock. So that's the way I kind of see it. I don't know what an EVP is in wrestling at all.
Yeah, I think that they're the buffer between management, like the true day-to-day management, and the talent. I think that that's kind of where they play in. I think Brandy has a higher position than.
Yeah, because she's got a lot on her plate. So their setup's unique. The Tony Khan was on Talk Is Jericho that was released today. I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but I look forward to listening to it. He is the money, the high guy behind AEW. So I'm interested to see just how they turn out. I'm glad that they're not being super aggressive, because you can't compete with the WWE at this point. They're just too big of a company. But they're just an alternative show, which is awesome. You want to get into our predictions?
Yeah, let's do this, man.
Not many matches, which I like, because that means we're going to have quality matches. Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin. I think it got made no DQ yesterday or today.
I didn't even know they were on the card.
It's okay. It's Braun Strowman, clearly, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll go.
Unless Lars Sullivan comes out of hiding. Boom.
Yeah. Rousey and Ruby Riott. You think people are sleeping on Ruby Riott?
No, I mean, there's no way Ruby's going past. No, there's just no way she's going past it. It's kind of weird that they put Ronda Rousey. I feel like something's gonna happen, because Ronda Rousey doesn't need to be on this card. Like, they could have saved her for Fastlane. So my thing is, maybe she's on this one. She's not on Fastlane. But I would have probably much rather have had Asuka on this one and then Ronda on the next one.
But, that makes sense. But it looks like it'll be the other way around. Or even R-Truth, he'll be on the next one, not this one.
Yeah, I think exactly. I think the IC belt's on this one here. So I think that the next one will be, it's still SmackDown one week, one pay-per-view, and Raw the next one. It just got little sprinkles here and there of each one of them. But I don't know. We'll see. I got Ronda Rousey for the win.
Yeah, this one's a pretty common one. The Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor in a handicap match.
Yeah.
The title's not on the line in any way, shape, or form, right?
Negative.
I didn't think
belt
it was.
Is on the line.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, belt's on the line.
So you think Finn wins this one by beating Leo Rush?
Yes. I mean, I don't know how he's going to win. I mean, who's going to pin, but I think that he's going to win the title.
Well, if he pins Leo, then that prolongs the feud.
Are you sure? I don't know. Maybe the title isn't on the line, because that doesn't make any sense to have a handicap match for the belt.
I think it is just a handicap match.
Okay.
Now, one match, and I'm in the same belt. If it's a handicap match, Finn's going to win.
Yeah.
Now, in a match where the title is on the line, and it doesn't seem that it's on the pre-show, Buddy Murphy and Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, I don't think Buddy Murphy's dropping the belt until WrestleMania.
Who do you think he's going to fight at WrestleMania?
I have no clue, man. I honestly, I don't know. Like maybe I I've got to think it's gonna be Tony Nese, man. I think he's the only one who hasn't legitimately had an opportunity for the belt itself, and he does have like an overarching storyline right now with Buddy Murphy. So it's him, man. I've got to think that it's him.
Yeah, because I mean, I look at all the first edition 205 guys. Jack Gallagher, haven't seen him in forever. And it was Cedric. We haven't seen him in a long time. All the first gen guys.
Cedric was on last week.
Was he?
He's back on Tuesdays, by the way.
TJ Perkins. Yeah, there's just a lot of guys that we haven't seen in a while. I'm going to go with the same thing. Buddy Murphy taking the dub over Akira Tozawa. Now, here's a match I don't care about that much. The Miz and Shane McMahon versus the Usos. I hope it's going to be the Usos, but I don't think it's going to be the Usos. So I'm going to go with the Miz and Shane just by hook or by crook. They're going to win, however, because I think the Usos, the Bar, and the New Day are going to be without tag titles for a while, regardless of if the Miz and Shane have it or not. Those three teams feuded all of 2017 and 2018, so I don't think they're going to have titles for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. They still got the rest of the year to be champions again. And shout out to both teams, man. On SmackDown, they had quite the promo. I thought it was pretty legit and entertaining. So I've got Miz and McMahon for the win.
Now, the Elimination Chamber match for the women. First ever tag team champions. This one's interesting because you can go a lot of different ways. But because it's the first one ever, I've got to go with Sasha Banks and Bayley. It seems to me, just with them two will be fine as a tag team, Sasha and Bayley. What do you think?
I don't know, man. This one's kind of hard to gauge. I don't know what's going on with Sasha. Just not like Bayley's having to go solo every other week when they're in a match. Sasha gets injured, and it almost seems to me that they're going to try again to pull the trigger on a split between those two, and maybe Bayley being a heel. So I've actually got the Iconics winning by upset on this one here.
That's who I want to win because those two girls have like a really good heat chemistry. So they really know how to garner heat. I think the main event, to me, blaringly obvious in the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship with Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi, Samoa Joe, and Randy coming out last.
Mm-hmm.
I think Daniel Bryan's holding on to it. I still don't know who he's going to fight at Mania, but I think Daniel Bryan's going to hold on to this one. I'd be shocked if he lost.
I thought Rey Mysterio was in this match. Is he not?
No, I don't remember what happened, but he's not in this match.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So I don't know, man. Like part of me legitimately feels that the New Day is going to win this one. I think the New Day is going to be who is going to be feuding with Daniel Bryan. Shout out to shout out to the New Day for testing Daniel Bryan every other week, bro. This week with that mountain of sausage.
Oh, that was great.
I thought that was hilarious, man. Yeah, I think that this is just me. I think this is what's going to end up happening. I think that Kofi's gonna win the title. Dan's gonna try to get it back. New Day kind of gets involved in their matches going up to Fastlane. Daniel figures that he needs a third person, and we're gonna get the Bludgeon Brothers back together by Fastlane, and then Daniel Bryan ends up winning the title back at WrestleMania. That's how I think it's gonna happen.
So that ties in with your logic of Kofi being maybe taking some time off soon. That veteran time off, getting that veteran schedule. Oh, that'd be interesting.
I think so, man. I think Kofi's gonna win it. Has nothing completely to do with his performance. I just feel like if you're gonna have a short feud for that belt, you're not gonna bring someone new up from now until WrestleMania. It just wouldn't make any sense. So it has to be someone from the New Day. I feel like someone from the New Day is going to end up getting it. We've been kind of teased for about a good 2 years of them winning the belt and then them freebirding the belt. So
yeah, it'd be interesting because if I look at the rest of the competitors in the ring, AJ Styles ain't going to win it. Him and Bryan have already feuded. Randy Orton's definitely not winning it. Samoa Joe, we talked about earlier on the show, he's not winning it, and Jeff Hardy for sure won't win it. So maybe Kofi Kingston is the outlier.
Yeah, man. It's either got to be the New Day or DB retaining, and I'm gonna go with the former of the two. I just got this sneaky suspicion that it's gonna be the shock of the night, and it's not bad. I mean, if they want to give him the title back the next night, they can, or the next 2 nights they can do that too. But I think that would be a pretty cool.
So who do you think Daniel Bryan's going to fight at WrestleMania right now?
I mean, I don't know, man. I thought it was going to be Mustafa Ali at first, man.
So did I.
I think the injuries are work. I don't think it's a real injury, man. I just think that
you got his eye punched out by Randy Orton.
Yeah, but I think that was like I think that was a work, bro. Not the injury itself, but
I don't think it was a work, but I think that the match was it could have really highlighted Mustafa Ali. And if you lose in an elimination chamber, you don't lose any momentum at all because you're up there with 5-6 other people. So he could have lost fairly without losing momentum, then fight Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah. So that's a great show, though. I think Elimination Chamber is going to be, if there are no upsets, then it's going to be very boring and terrible and crappy.
Where the ARs? Where the ARs at? There's no ARs here.
Oh, it's going to be, this pay-per-view could be the apex. It could be the apex of my week.
Bro, you suck, bro.
That stupid game. And then when I get good, I'm going to be like, man, I played some Apex last week. How come you're not playing Sage? That's exactly how it's going to happen. Exactly how it's going to happen. What else do we have to cover? I feel like that's pretty much everything for the week, right? We had a good week in wrestling.
Oh, yeah, man. Wrestling was amazing. AEW is coming along really nicely. I still feel like people need to just take a chill pill in terms of like all the hype on it. We talked about that last week. It's just like setting yourself up for failure if you're thinking that they're going to just be like dominating WWE as soon as they get their TV deal. So I'll just chill out a little bit. That's all I got to say about that. Did you watch the Grammys this week?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either, but I did catch a couple of the clips, bro. And so you remember that beef, the big beef last year between Drake and Pusha T?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said, and I understand, y'all said Pusha T won, right?
Yep.
So I was thinking just like usually when someone wins the big beef, like their persona just kind of skyrockets and everything just falls in place for them, right? They get TV deals and shoe deals and then movies and stuff like that. The other guy just kind of gets the Ja Rule status and just doesn't come back at all.
Right.
Well, at the Grammys, Drake got like 3 Grammys, and Pusha T was nowhere to be found. Well, no, I can't say that, man. He was found, and every time that Drake got nominated and then he won, they panned on Pusha T. Pusha T was just mean mugging, bro, like taking L's after L's after L's. So one has to ask, man, in retrospect, who took the biggest L out of this beef? I mean, assuming this beef is still on. Because, I mean, in my point of view, Pusha T, just by the way that he was affected by, best rap album, best rap song, I think Pusha T took the biggest L, bro.
I'm going to still go with Pusha T for the win. Because when it came down to it, I put you in your place. Drake has just moved on way better than Pusha T if he's getting Grammys and all that. But they're different audience bases. But it's like it's like if me and you play in the finals this year, NBA finals, and I guard you and I just outperform you in general. Next year, we might not play in the finals, and you go on and win 5 more finals. That doesn't mean I'm still beating you in the long run. It's Drake's just got a humongous fan base, and he makes good music. He got called out on the dad issues and stuff like that. He got called out and put in his place real quick. But he's just a mega star. And mega stars get mega views, mega listens, mega all that.
I mean, Ja Rule was a mega star, bro.
Yeah, but I feel like what messed up Ja Rule was the whole FBI investigation of Murder Inc. Because at the end of the day, no matter how famous you are, if law enforcement gets involved, you're done. Law enforcement, the judges, the courts, the feds, they don't mess around. Ask Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes makes amazing
996,
right? Wesley Snipes makes great movies. Blade 1, and
how you give no love to Blade 2? That was
I'm
the
tripping.
best out of all 3, bro.
So, what's funny is when I first saw all 3 Blades in theaters, I said Blade 1 was the best. Blade 3, because Triple H was in it, and 2 was trash. And as I've gotten older, I'm like, man, what the hell was I thinking about in my 20s? In my teenage years? Blade 1 was just an intro movie. And now I watch it now, I'm like, man, this CGI is fucking terrible.
It's fucking whack, bro.
And then I watched Blade 2 and I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, there's CGI or whatever, but Blade 2 it's like 3 movies in one.
That's right, man.
So it's him, and then you got a whole crew of vampires who want to kill him, but they can't kill him. And then you have the main super vampire, original OG vampire crossover thing, and he's like, Blade, man, I ain't trying to kill your ass, but we should take over the world. Nah, I'm gonna kill you. Oh, well, your friends are trash. And Daryl from The Walking Dead is in it?
Yeah.
And then I rewatched Blade 3 recently and was like, God damn, this movie's horrible.
You got Donnie Yen in that, bro. Ip Man?
Yeah, Donnie Yen. He was in part 2. But they didn't utilize him though.
He got murked in that first sewer scene.
Yeah, the dude hit him in the back with the hammer and killed him after he got turned on. They didn't. I remember watching that movie specifically and being like, because I kind of knew who Donnie Yen was beforehand. Because I don't know if Blade 2 came out before or after Fast and Furious, but I went on with Fast and Furious 1, Asian cars. I started looking into Asian cars, and it made me kind of trickle into like, all right, well, let me look at Asian influence stuff. And I got into Asian actors, and I knew who Donnie Yen was before Ip Man, but they didn't use him in Blade 2. So I thought, oh man, maybe he's trash. And I never saw Ip Man forever. And Ip Man's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, either which way, we digress. There's people who get, you mess with the government. Nah. That you don't come back from, regardless of beef.
Nah, man. I mean, everyone is, what do they get? We got Tekashi and we got El Chapo. Like, all of them went through the government in the last week and a half. And yeah, I mean, you don't come back from that, man. It's like locked down. Welcome to the Usos. No. Welcome
the U.S.
to the U.S. penitentiary. Oops.
They should play when El Chapo got locked up, or anybody messes with the U.S. government, or when you get filed for tax fraud. Down since day one. They should play that song, shouldn't they?
That's it, bro. Oh man, y'all gonna make me go watch The Untouchables, bro. Every time I think about that, man, like, man, they didn't get y'all for murder. They got y'all for tax evasion, man. I'm gonna go watch me some Untouchables, bro.
Yep. That's how, man, the cars in that movie are legit. That was in Chicago, right? Old school Chicago.
Yeah, old school Chicago, bro. Yes, dude. It still
mobsters
looks amazing, and it's amazing. I mean, the story of Al Capone is always great, but like that movie just puts it in perspective, man. Just Oliver Stone, ahead of his time, bro.
Oh yeah, by far. Well, hey, ladies. I'm not even saying bye to everybody else. Ladies, have a great weekend. Have a happy Valentine's Day. Hope you had a happy Valentine's Day if you're listening to this on the weekend. This is the Valentine's Day edition of the It's Real Wrestling podcast. Went over a lot of stuff today. We got the Elimination Chamber coming up this weekend. Hit us up. Type in, if you're on Xbox Party, It's Real Wrestling podcast. You'll be able to join the group. Ben Space Goose and join any of my parties. I think I'll be on this weekend. Friday night, and I think I'm going to be watching some sports Saturday night and Sunday night. I guess an Elimination Chamber Sunday night. But yeah, hit us up any other time. IRWP.us 419-777-IRWP. You want to hit them with anything else, Sage, before we close out?
Yeah, we are now on Spotify. So go ahead, and if you got that Spotify, go ahead and hit that It's Real Wrestling podcast on the search. And take a screenshot and send that to us on Instagram, or tag us on Instagram. We want to know that you guys got subscribed. Might have some goodies for y'all too if y'all do that, but no promises. Twitter, Real WrestleCast on Twitter. Y'all make sure to hit us up there. And I mean, I'm gonna be playing that Apex all week.
All right. On that note. Y'all know this music got real loud real quick. It's your boy Ben Goose, and everybody signing off. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there, men and women and children alike. And y'all keep it real. Apex sucks. The thought and the opinions expressed are that of the host night of the IRWP. Hey, go to IRWP.us. Give us a call, 419-777-IRWP. Like Sage Mark mentioned, we are on Spotify now. Man, that's all major podcast players. Spotify, type in It's Real Wrestling Podcast, and then go hit us up at Real WrestleCast. Keep it real.